up, y'all? Riad Bobar here, Bosnian heavyweight, coming out of Atlanta, Georgia. Started boxing about 3 years ago.
Yep.
Plan to go pro about next year probably. Timetable for that, I'm not sure when. What time next year? I'm assuming probably towards summertime, either beginning or end of summer. But in between then, probably a couple more amateur fights, just get, under my feet, get set under my feet. Yeah, looking forward to the next experience and the journey. I had always just been a confused kid what I really wanted to do. I had done sports when I was a kid, but I was never really good enough at any of the sports. School-wise, I wasn't really, I was a smart kid, but it wasn't really something I was interested in. But I really just wanted to be known for something, represent my country in something, because I had such a love for my country and for the people that represent my country in sports and whatnot, and role models and figures, that I kind of wanted to be someone like that. But like I said, I didn't know what I wanted to be. And I found out what boxing was, started doing a little research, and I really just fell in love with it. Found the gym right here. Coach took me in, my teammates took me in. And ever since then, it's just been, everything's just been part of the journey, and just the experience is really what brought me in here, just the progression and continuing to get better and whatnot, really what got me into boxing. And that's why I love it so much. When I first started, really, I was watching a lot of Tyson Fury, because that was my big inspiration. I was watching his fights with Wilder and obviously and all that, watching him as he progressed and whatnot, and I really fell in love with his style, and I was always trying to fight like Fury and whatever. But the more I boxed, the more I realized that wasn't my style, my natural style. So I kind of made my own type of style, and if I had to relate it to someone, probably like a Klitschko, long range, keep someone away, a European style fighter, Soviet style fighter. But yeah, probably I say Tyson Fury. But in terms of just boxing inspiration in general, would be probably Ali, just because of the impact he had in the game, and the fact that he's also a Muslim leader and whatnot, and the ambassador for Islam. So probably Ali and Fury, I'd say.
I wanted to ask you, in your amateur career so far, what are some highlights, some moments that really stand out to you?
Oh, that's a good question. Man, there's several moments. There's usually a big event in Georgia every single year called Lugo de Mayo, probably the biggest event in Georgia besides maybe Golden Gloves. And me and my teammates went and fought there. And I think that day we went 4 for 5 or whatever. And it wasn't really just the fact that I got the win, but it was the fact that me and my teammates all got the win, and we all got to eat up that day basically. Probably that, and my second favorite moment would probably be when I had fought, it was a dude, I forgot, Big Trey they used to call him, bro. And we went to Tennessee to fight this man. I weighed in 203, which is barely the minimum for heavyweight, and he was 335. And he was 9-0 with 9 straight first round knockouts. And they was all telling me, oh, you're gonna get knocked out and whatever. They was all getting their phones ready for me to get knocked out. And I ended up just completely outboxing him, making him look dumb, ended up winning easily. And that was a good moment, because it really told me, it really showed me as long as you put your mind to something, and as long as you're confident and you tell yourself you're gonna win something, no one's gonna be able to stop you. And I don't know, it was a big moment for me to see I could beat somebody of that caliber, someone that dangerous. I started my career at 170. When I first signed up here, I was 6'4", 170, and I was super skinny. But I had a fight at that weight, then I had a fight at 189, then I had a fight at 200, and then I went up to heavyweight. So I fought in 4 different weight classes in the past like year or two.
So with that in mind of you turning pro relatively soon, are there any humps that you feel like you want to get over before then? Anything you want to, 100% solidify before you make that jump?
Yeah.
It's a huge one.
Yeah, it's huge. I mean, it's the biggest jump any fighter takes in their career is going pro. The amateurs is really just your practice. The pros is like where it's really, you make your money and whatnot. Number one hump I would say is just cardio, getting cardio right. Because I've never been this weight in my entire life. And I've hit this weight recently as like February, May of this year. So I just got to get used to this weight, moving this weight around. Because before I had this weight on, I was a super light fighter, dancer on the ring. But now I got to plant my feet down and really get in there. So I say cardio is the number one thing. Number two would definitely be like getting that dog work with like top level pros and whatnot. I've had good sparring, good fights with people, but it's time to take that next level and spar and fight guys who are at the top of the game, like brink world championship level or even world championship fighters, because that's where you really see how good you are and if you're ready, if you're built for this. Your whole career, you're testing yourself to see if you're built for something, but the most important part to see if you're ready for it is when you start fighting and sparring these top level guys, because if you can hang in there with them, you can hang in there with anybody.
If there's anything you want to say to amateur boxers, say at the real novice level, any advice you want to give to them to potentially, say they're stuck and they're looking for that breakthrough, or they're just real nervous about it, any advice that you want to give them?
The number one thing I would probably say is it's the most cliche thing in the book, but literally just keep going. It's like keep going and stay in the gym, because as soon as you take that time off, you come back and it's going to take you a while to get back to where you once were. And there's going to be those periods in which you have really bad slumps where you might be getting beat up in sparring, might be taking losses, whatever it is. But if you just keep it pushing, keep going through, eventually you're going to have to either decide like, hey, I'm going to have to step it up, or I'm going to just keep going through this slump. And usually 99% of humans push through that and eventually they get over that slump. But the more you're in the gym and the longer you're in the gym, it's just the better for you, you know what I'm saying? So just keep going, just keep pushing through. And there's always a light at the end of the tunnel. There's always better times ahead. As long as you got the determination, discipline, willpower, et cetera, et cetera. It's all cliche, but it's all the facts, the truth.
Ah.